This is a free download from the BBC. For more information, go to bbc.co.uk/podcasts.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you all be upstanding for your host, Mr. Iainlee? What?
Don't say upstanding, because why would they stand? They're listening to me. They might be listening on a bus or driving in a car.
What should I say then? Please be seating.
No.
Please. I feel like there needs to be an extra sentence.
No, just, okay, so it's going to be, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I have echo?
Right, okay, so try, there we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please... I feel like there needs to be another line in there. Please welcome.
Yeah.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Iainlee.
Hi, thank you for that. Thank you. This is Iainlee. Welcome to my BBC Three Counties podcast. Sorry. This is the weekly best of my show, which goes out Mondays to Fridays, 6 till 9 on BBC Three Counties. Lots coming up in this episode, including this.
I can never be reformed in my thoughts of agony and pain when I visit my son's grave.
This. When will you get the figures in and how many extra papers you've shifted?
Well, that is not what this is about.
Okay.
I've already said to you.
Of course it's not. And more than just a little bit of this. Oh, no, it's not fair. Oh, no, don't put the roof on. Oh, it's not fair. Oh, no, Mum, don't put Mum.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
If you're a regular listener to my show, congratulations on that, by the way, you'll know how I value my team and how I never mock them or give them difficult challenges. Especially not on air. That would be bullying.
This is a problem that they say it was endemic in the system.
Final question, Paul. 9 times 7?
That would be 63.
Did you just use your phone?
No. I've got a trick for the 9 times table, though.
Is it your fingers?
It is my fingers.
How does the... Because producer Chara tried to explain the fingers one. I couldn't get it.
OK, what's 4 times 9?
31.
36.
Oh, yeah. Right. All right.
So you put down... So you hold your hand up.
Yeah.
And then you put down... So facing you...
Yeah.
You want to do 3 times 9, right?
Be with you in a second, Adam.
No, it's all right.
You can do this as well. We're holding our fingers in front of us, yes.
3 times 7.
Okay,
you put down your third finger along.
3 times 7?
Yeah. Oh, 3 times 9.
Oh,
sorry, anyway, it's 9. Yeah,
yeah, so third finger, yeah.
Yeah, so you've got a third finger down. And to the left of the finger, how many are up?
2.
And to the right of it, how many?
7. 27!
27, you see.
That's
that
voodoo.
Across the board, yeah.
Wow.
So 8 times 9.
Hang on. So 8 is 72.
72.
That's brilliant. OK, try this one. 9 times 12. Aha!
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 108. Dunmore Road in Luton. You see, I was all right at times tables. I've done very little math since, but I'm all right with
All right, teacher's pet. Go and give teacher another apple, Adam, and then do your travel news, you swat. You're getting a dead arm after this.
Oh.
bbc.co.uk/3 counties.
6 times 4.
6 times 4 is 24.
7 times 8.
Oh, stop it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
9 times 3.
A lot. Don't ask me any more questions.
Well, no. I'm going to... Listen, the reason I'm doing this...
I'm really, really bad at maths. Really bad. Well, I'm not bad at maths, but I panic.
4 times 3.
Stop it.
That's 12.
12, I know.
9-year-olds are going to be taught to their 12 times table.
Good, they can help me.
I mean, what are you, 42 now? And you... and you...
Not quite.
Yeah, not quite. You can't do it.
I can do it, but
11 times 12!
Stop it!
It's only words, and words are all I have to take your heart away.
There was a cracking interview with the BG that's left. I can never remember which one's which. The one that looks like a lion. Anyway, he hated the other two. They hated each other. And you'd think now the other two have passed, he'd be a bit, I miss those guys. But it doesn't at all. Incredible. Anyway, The Bee Gees, words. I love 60s Bee Gees. Not so keen on 70s, hate 80s. 60s Bee Gees, I think, are fantastic. That and Gotta Get a Message to You, wonderful, wonderful songs. And when that came on, oh, what a romantic song. Beautiful, gorgeous. Who could have anything apart from good memories associated with that? Well, someone who could have bad memories with that is Kelly Betts. Morning, Kelly Betts.
Morning.
Now, Kelly, you were just telling me a little story while that song was playing. What's your association with that song?
Oh, I feel a bit sick just thinking of it. So there's this boy that I really liked at school.
Yep.
And he came over during that song at a school disco.
Lovely.
Said, would you like a dance?
Oh, romantic.
Heart in my mouth. Of course I'd like a dance.
Yeah.
Had a little dance. During the song, during our dance, he kissed another girl!
I don't understand
While I was in his arms.
I don't understand the geography of this. How could he kiss someone else while he was holding you and dancing with you?
I don't really know. His head just wasn't...
He leant over and kissed...
someone
His head
else.
was in something. He leant over and kissed someone else.
For a while. I didn't know, do I just stand here and carry on, or do I leave? So I went and sat down, but I don't think he noticed.
Oh, no! Kelly Betts. Well, listen, we can throw that out there. If you've ever been humiliated at a school disco, 08459 455 555.
bbc.co.uk/3 counties.
Catherine?
Yes?
Any chance you could do a bit longer? I'll tell you why. I'm joined by Tony Fisher for a very important story, and he's just telling me... Well, you were just explaining to me how you messed up your radio alarm.
That's right. I accidentally changed the time. The alarm that changed the time on the clock.
So I'd like to get the end of this story, Catherine. So can you just do a bit?
Hang on.
Is that all right?
Yeah, hang on.
I'm going to fade our microphones down and get the end of this, and you carry on and do your bit, OK?
OK.
There we go.
This is from the other day, but you already know this. Traffic police numbers in the UK have been cut by almost 13%
I'm going to stop you, Catherine.
over the last 5 years.
Catherine.
Oh, come on.
No, it turns out it's actually quite a boring story, so I'm going to wrap that up, if that's OK.
OK.
Cheers.
Happy to help.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is iainlee.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
So, hey, whoa! Calm down. So, Andy Murray won Wimborington. That was mentioned once or twice on my show this week. I'm not a huge sports fan by any stretch of the image. And the game yesterday left me feeling a bit... Do you agree with me? I'm not the only one, it turns out. I got a lot of abuse on Friday. I did watch a little bit, only because I had money riding on it. A little bit of the game between Murray and the giant pole. OK, so I watched a little bit of it. I did lose a bit of respect for Andy Murray. Did you see the bit when he was told the roof was going to be put back on? They're going to put the roof on. 20-9. OK. And Andy Murray went, oh, no, it's not fair. Oh, no, don't put the roof on. Oh, it's not fair. Oh, no, Mum, don't put the roof on. And I just thought, you miserable... It's like a 12-year-old being told that the Xbox is being turned off unless he goes and tidies his room. Oh, no, don't turn me Xbox. I don't want to tidy my room. I just thought it was awful. I thought it was childish. I thought it was awful. I thought he was a spoiled brat, and I thought he was disrespectful to the judges. And I tweeted this. Oh, the abuse I got! It was a flippant comment before I went out for my supper. The abuse I got some strong swear words. Yes, the strongest. I got horrible hashtags invented about me. It was disgusting. Only because I said, this is pretty much what I said, any respect I've had for Andy Murray, I've lost since he whinged like a 15-year-old girl and disrespected the officials. Oh, no, don't shut the roof. It's not fair. It's not fair. No, Mum. It was awful. 08459 455 555. Has Andy Murray's win left you feeling a bit...
Sorry, that was such a great rant. Oh, brilliant.
You probably missed this on Friday when they shut the roof. It was embarrassing, Jack. Oh, no, don't make me put my shoes by the front door. No!
No!
It was awful. awful, Dealey.
Well, I'm glad he did it just to get that rant from you, which was 10 out of 10. Highly impressive. Back to your best this morning, aren't you, boss?
It's because you're back, Justin. I feel I have to prove myself. Now, listen, of course, Andy Murray, front page of all the newspapers. He won Wimbledon. The first British, and we have to specify this, the first British man to win Wimbledon in 77 years, because who was the last Brit to win Wimbledon?
Go on, tell me.
Virginia Wade.
Oh, Virginia Wade,
I
of course.
I think in 1977, thereabouts.
Lovely.
The thing I asked you to have a look into this morning, Justin, was this feeling. Are there more people like me who feel a bit meh, or is the whole nation filled with pride at this multi-millionaire tennis player winning even more money?
Oh, it doesn't surprise me, I have to say. You know, yesterday, a historic moment. The first male British winner in 77 years, and you've come in this morning and you've got the ump. That doesn't surprise me, but I think it is fantastic for the game. I think it will make a big impact. But yesterday in Hertfordshire, today I'm in Luton. I've been asking people the question you've been asking, which is rather weird. Has Murray's win made you feel a bit, and this is what happened. Andy Murray's won Wimbledon. Has it left you feeling rather, do you not really care?
No, well done to him. He deserves it. He worked hard for it, but I'm not really into tennis.
So you weren't jumping for joy yesterday? You're not waking up, punching the air, going, yes, he's finally done it?
No.
Tony, all the front pages this morning, all about Andy Murray. Do you really care? Has it left you feeling a bit, not really fussed?
No, not fussed all that much, mate. It's not my cup of tea. He don't like us if we lose at football, the English. He wants us to lose, so why should I want him to win?
So as far as you're concerned then, a Scottish man has won Wimbledon, not a British man?
Yeah, definitely.
Wayne, we've got Iainlee back in the studio, who's a bit negative this morning, saying that Andy Murray's victory yesterday did absolutely nothing for him. How are you feeling today?
The opposite.
Yeah?
He's done Britain proud. First time since 77 years. So to me, I've woken up this morning thinking, well done. It's inspirational and it's a good thing for British tennis. You're going to find loads of youngsters coming through now, fighting to find a local court, play, and it's just wonderful.
So you seriously are waking up with a spring in your step because of yesterday?
I am. And my first customer, which was in Luton, he had a newspaper out, holding a trophy. And I was there having a 5-minute chat with him saying, well done, Andy Murray, well done.
Oh, grow up, mate. Grow up. You don't know him. He doesn't know you. He doesn't care about you.
Well, I think some people are going to be negative, and I'll tell you why. Because it's Andy Murray.
Yeah.
Now, he's got an incredibly attractive girlfriend. He is a multi-millionaire.
She's an 8, he's a 5.
He's just won Wimbledon, and still it's like, come on, mate, life is good. Embrace it. You are right now, right up there. The nation love you. Be happy, Andy. Be happy. Come on.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is Iainlee.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Now, this morning we've been talking about life sentences. Should life mean life? The European Court of Human Rights will deliver a ruling later today on an appeal against the whole life sentences given to 3 convicted murderers from the UK, Jeremy Bamber, Douglas Vinter and Peter Moore. They claim that being forced to spend the rest of their lives behind bars is against their human rights, that it's cruel and degrading. Well, joined now on the line by Ralph from Hertfordshire. Ralph got in touch with us. Good morning, Ralph.
Good morning.
I know that you have strong feelings about this. Tell me your story.
Well, 30 years ago, my son was murdered, and I believe the criminal who committed the crime served his prison sentence. He's probably now out enjoying a life with a family of his own. I am still suffering, and my family still suffer. After 30 years, nobody has ever asked the victims' families what they feel. The judges sit on their seats and think, well, let's get him out and reform him, but I can never be reformed in my thoughts of agony and pain when I visit my son's grave.
Can I ask, and if I go into too much detail, then just tell me to stop. How old was your son when he was murdered?
17.
17, and this happened 30 years ago?
Yes.
And do you know, and don't give us any names, but do you know how long the murderer was sentenced to?
No, my son was in France at the time, and he was on his way home from picking grapes and that, and he was assaulted and strangled. And I don't know, because it all in French and everything. I got his body home after 4 weeks, and he's buried in Hertfordshire.
And how did you get the news that your son had been killed like this?
2 police officers come to my door one Sunday night and said the body of a young man believed to be British, and my son had he's had a tattoo. That's how they got him. But previously, before that, my house had been burgled 6 months, and the police had all our fingerprints to eliminate any fingerprints they found in the house, and that's how they identified him. I never did see his body because it was a month before we got him home. You know.
I'm just trying. You know, I'm a dad. I've got 2 young boys, and I'm just. I can't even begin to imagine what that loss feels like. But the gentleman or the person who killed your son, as you say, is probably out. Has probably been released. How does that make you feel?
Well, probably a bit envious, jealous. I don't know. Maybe he should have served his life prison. I don't know if he got life imprisonment. He may have got 20 years, but. The victims and a lot of people out here in the country who have suffered family loss through murder, we suffer every day. And we get no release by judges sitting in court saying, never mind, in 6 years' time you'll be a reformed person, you'll get over it. You never get over it.
We spoke earlier on, Ralph, I don't know if you heard, we spoke to Eric Allison, who is the Guardian's prison correspondent, an ex-offender, and he said that murderers should be given at least the glimmer of hope that maybe one day they might be released.
Well, to do the crime again, as you said, they come out and murder again. Every criminal, or most criminals, go to court and say they're innocent. There's not many put their hand up and say, yes, I did it, and send me to prison. They're all innocent of what they've done until it's proved that they're not innocent. And they seem to think that crime does pay.
And this, as you said, this 30 years ago, this is a life sentence for you, isn't it? You and your family.
Yes.
How does it affect you now, Ralph?
Yes, I live a normal life as going to work, I'm retired now, but doing things. But I still visit and talk to him in his grave after, it was 1980 he was killed, and it's 33 years really. I still talk to him and perhaps ask him to forgive me for not looking after him, to protect him when he needed protecting. But it's the victims who should have their say. The victims' families should be able to stand up in court and say, no, I don't want him to be released. Why should he be released? I'm not released from the torment and the pain and the taking away my son's future.
He'd be 50 years old now, wouldn't he, your boy?
Yes. Probably a family of his own.
And do you often, imagine what it would be like if he was still here?
Yes, I often wonder if, in fact, when he was killed, I used to walk around looking to see if it was him, and a mistake had been made.
Mm.
And especially when I went to France afterwards, travelled through France a lot. Every time you see a back of someone walking down a motorway or a street, you think, well, is that my son who's walking down there? You imagine all kinds of things. That you see him everywhere, and you never see him. You only see in your heart and your mind. If you've committed a crime, and you must be able to say to yourself, well, I'll put my hands up, I've done it, I deserve the sentence I'm getting.
Ralph, you said that you didn't know what had happened to the person that murdered your son because it was all in French and it was 33 years ago. Yeah. You didn't know how long he got, you didn't know if he was alive, you didn't know if he'd been released.
No.
Would it help you to know what happened to the murderer?
Not now. Maybe 20 years ago, but not now. There's a blanket been drawn over it all, and I just live with the memory, as with my family live with the memory. And friends, even one of his friends still visits his grave on his birthday. After 33 years. He still visits his grave and puts a small flower or something to say, thanks for your friendship, Michael.
This is Iain Lee
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
You're listening to the Iain Lee podcast from BBC Three Counties. What's that you're reading, Kath?
A little bit about apparently you in the Radio Times.
Oh, am I?
It turns out you're quite talented.
Yes.
Did you write this?
Well, no, it's an interview with me. Just remind me, the listener, of some of my...
Well, I'm drawn immediately to the worst moment.
Oh, no, don't read that.
A listener letting loose a stream of the C word.
Yeah, no, that was a long time ago and wouldn't happen now. Read some of the nice...
And your dumping button failed to work. Have you got a dumping button here?
Read some of the nice things about me in there. I'm a nice guy. It says there, nice.
Secret skills.
Yeah.
I play the ukulele.
Okay.
It's very joyous and my boys love it.
I'd like to
speak to your boys about that.
That's a nice thing.
I used to be a stage hypnotist.
Oh.
I worked with Paul McKenna.
That's...
Go on. Hypnotise me.
Oh, you will shut up. Yeah, see? You can only hypnotise intelligent people. Let's see what else happened on my show this week.
Every few seconds getting that hit of a laugh.
Nick Coffer.
Weekdays from 12
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Well, nice bit of keyboard there at the end of that.
Yeah.
I would say, you and I do the best shows. Nick Coffer gets the best trails. His show is excellent. No, his show is excellent. But let's be honest, we're class. But Nick Coffer gets the best trails. Pourquoi?
He does. He's got very good trails.
These are excellent trails. And a very, very good show. I would give it 7 out of 10. No, I'm joking. I've been nasty. I wouldn't give it that much. I'm joking again.
I'm not joining in with any of this.
Nick Coffer's show is brilliant. But did you hear the one where he's going to be at some garden fete or something? It's nature. There's an orchestra playing. It sounds amazing. We don't get that. The best you get is coming up on the JVS show. I'll be asking about beds. They do that effect, so it sounds like you're on the phone. So tell me about your broken bed. They do that, don't they?
Why do they do that?
Why do they make him sound like you're on a phone or on a medium wave radio?
All this time and effort to get us on DAB, and then they make the show sound like it comes down a telephone line.
Earlier this week, I spoke to Frank Bruno's daughter. Frank Bruno's daughter. Hear what she had to say.
That is very funny. It's true.
It's true. What's on your show this morning?
Oh,
you're right.
Coming up at Big... no, I just took it out of me, all that laughter then. I was a little worried I might be about to have a seizure.
Oh, gosh, no. You've got a jumper on, I've just noticed.
It's cold in here, isn't it?
It's the second hottest day of the year. It's going to be 30 degrees.
Yes, it's nice out there, not in this overly air-conditioned building.
Got a jersey with a T-shirt on.
It's like we work in an abattoir in here. It's so cold.
In more ways than one.
It's like a butcher's fridge. Coming up at 9 on the big phone-in. Are you all right?
Butcher's fridge is a lovely phrase.
Well, it is so, isn't it? It's like a butcher's fridge.
It is, and mainly because it's blood-stained walls as well. It stinks of rotting meat.
Three Counties Radio. Well, there is a smell at Three Counties Radio.
There is a smell at Three Counties Radio. Getting back to Nick Coffer.
What? You're blaming Nick Coffer?
No, but... Ooh.
Anyone that's ever been into our building here, you'll notice there's a foul smell.
It does stink.
No one's ever been able to work out what it is.
No.
It's in the fabric. Coming up at 9 on the big phone-in today, is there ever a good reason to drive children to school? I've been very interested in this story, particularly as a Hertfordshire resident myself. Herts County Council have introduced a park and stride scheme to encourage parents to walk their children to school. The plan, park in a nearby multi-storey car park for free for up to 2 hours, and then walk the final 5 minutes to school. It's being trialled at Samuel Lucas, JMI and Hitchin because there's no space in their own car park and the school's already planning new buildings to take on more pupils. Well, I live in Hertfordshire and I've just had a letter through to say Hertfordshire County Council has been consulting with all the schools and we've got all these proposals. We're going to shut your road. That's one of their ideas. They're going to shut my road.
Oh, isn't that nice of them?
Over my dead body. They want to shut the end of the road. So they had this consultation at the local junior school last week. Well, I went striding along, didn't I? As soon as it opened at 4 o'clock, I spoke to the council member. I said, what's this stupid idea about shutting my road? He said, well, we've been consulting and the parents are saying that it's too busy to cross the road. I said, oh, I see. So you're going to shut my road to mean that everyone has to go all the way around the block to get in. and you're doing it because you think that's going to suddenly encourage parents to walk their children to school. Are you stupid? Do you honestly think that's going to stop all the 4x4s rocking up outside the school, dropping off Tamara and Tarquin for their... I mean, for goodness sake, what do they think it is? They're shutting roads. They're putting these great big lumpy zebra crossings everywhere. Hertfordshire's going to grind to a halt. All because parents apparently are now going to start saying, no, we won't drive the children to school. It's so safe out there. We'll just let them walk. Yeah. They're not, though, are they? They're not.
Of all the stories I expected you to get passionate...
They're going to shut my road.
...and angry about.
Shut my road.
This was not it.
I'm livid. I've sent a stinking email. I'll have to drive. It will add about 5 minutes onto my journey to and from work every day.
You should... This is what you need to do. The Consumer Hour, which you know I'm a huge fan of, ditch it for the next month and make this your campaign. JVS's campaign to stop your road being shut. It's bang out of order.
But if I thought it was going to work, I'd be behind it.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
Because, and you hit on this earlier... The reason that parents drive their children to school is there's a whole host. Mainly, it's easy.
Yeah.
B, they kind of... It's part of their day, isn't it? Oh, no, it's OK, because we drop the children off on the way to work, or we drop the children off and then I go off to the gym after that, or whatever. I drop the children off because, you know, I don't want them to be assaulted by a weirdo or a pervert on the way to... There's all these reasons. I don't want the roads are too busy.
Oh, gosh.
You know what I mean?
Do you want to start now? I'll go and you can do the...
I'm very fired up about this.
I can tell.
From 9, is there ever a good reason to drive children to school?
9 times 6.
248.
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
He's still banging on about it. Here's a juicy montage of some of the calls I've had to the show this week. The topics include appendicitis, breastfeeding, and should a life sentence actually mean a life sentence? You know the name Jeffrey Bamber, very nasty gentleman, killed lots of members of his family. Oh, it goes against his human rights that he's going to be in prison forever. Steve is on the line. Morning, Steve.
Morning.
What do you think? Should life mean life?
Well, if you're going to put them in life, we should have a good hanging outside the town hall every Saturday and hang them all. All the lifers.
But then that would mean death.
Yeah, well, so what? I mean, we what do you think the army does to keep us safe?
Sorry?
They kill terrorists, they kill other bad people. So what's the difference? Why don't we kill the bad people in our society, but they can't do it again?
We're not...
waste of money.
Steve, shall I give you... We're not going to do should we bring back hanging. Shall I tell you why we can never bring back hanging in this country?
Oh, go on then.
Shall I tell you why? It's an excellent reason. Because we have murdered... innocent people before.
Well,
so if there's a chance that we could hang the wrong person, as we have done in the past, we can never bring it back.
Yes, we can, because we've got better technology now. Better, you've got DNA, you've got other better procedures. So you've got less chance. You've got less chance.
You've got less chance. You're right, Steve. Yeah. You've got less chance, but there is still a chance the state would execute the wrong person.
Anyway, I'd rather hang 10, and if one is innocent.
Wow.
I'm afraid it's a 10%, but that's life.
10%. Imagine if that 10%, in that 10%, one of them was your son.
Yeah, I know we're going to say that. I know, but that's...
Would that be all right?
Reality. Of course it would be all right.
Well, then there you go. It would be someone's son that was killed.
Surely, if someone's in that scenario, they must be close to that scenario. They've got to be within the vicinity of that area of the crime.
So they probably deserve to die anyway.
No, not really. No, but you're being unrealistic.
No, you're being unrealistic. Saying if someone has been accused of that murder, right? Let's use a fictional scenario. If someone has been accused of that murder, even if they're innocent, the fact they've been accused means they were probably nearby anyway.
Well, I've been a bit more involved in the situation. Not walking past or driving past in a vehicle.
Right.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, surely we should get... Why should we pay for a prisoner for life? It's cheaper to put them in the rich than it is to get them locked up. You might as well put them in the rich when you're going to give them life. Why not just hang them? Save us millions.
I've told you why we can't hang them, Steve. Because we have killed innocent people before. We can't do that again.
Hold on. Let's go for innocent people. What about all the wars that we've just had the last 10 years? How many innocent people do you think we've killed?
Far too many, Steve. Far too many.
So your argument is what? We've killed
my argument is valid because I don't think we should be killing those people either. Steve, we're going off on a tangent. As always, it's a pleasure to talk to you. Morning, this is Iain Lee, BBC Three Counties Radio. Elton John pulled out of Hyde Park because of his appendix. Front page of The Sun. Elton, I nearly died. It's just a stomachache, man. For goodness sakes. Dave's in Luton. Is Elton John being a wimp, David?
He's not, mate.
What, sorry?
He's not. You don't want to have it.
I don't want to have anything, but who knows?
No, especially appendix. You just say an appendix there. It just seems it's a little sore throat or something.
Well, it's in your stomach.
Yeah, it's the most dangerous thing you can have in your body.
What? Tell me more, Dave. What's your story?
I nearly died at the age of 12 because the doctor said I'd been eating crab apples with stomach pains. 2 days later, I was at the Luton Children's Annex fighting for my life because it all burst inside me.
Oh!
For peritonitis.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it's a word. So, what, do they go in and rip your appendix out?
Yeah, because it on the end of the appendix, if it bursts, it goes all into your body, and it's called peritonitis.
Appendix is such a nice word, isn't it? It's the thing you get at the back of a book.
Yeah, but it's not not peritonitis.
No.
And I lay dangerously ill for a month, and they had to drain it all out of you.
Oh, my.
And that is a very, very serious problem.
Would you... OK, well, Dave, listen, I guess this is the question on everyone's lips. Would you, at the age of 12, been able, with that appendix problem, been able to perform Crocodile Rock at Hyde Park?
You were saying about taking what tablet?
Yeah, take a couple of Nurofen.
No, I took tablets and the pain was horrific. How he's standing up, I don't know, because the pain was so horrific.
Yeah.
You just crouch over. He can't sing.
Let's not get personal, Dave. Let's just stick to the medical issue.
Yeah.
So you're saying that Elton John would not still be standing?
He shouldn't be.
No. Well, again, let's not get personal, Dave. No. Oh, okay.
It's a very serious thing if it's not rectified.
Here's the thing. I remember a child at school with the wonderful name of Orlando Kelly. What a great name. And he had his appendix taken out at the age of 10. Right?
Yeah.
And I remember, Dave, in the way that kids are wont, I remember being very, very jealous of Orlando Kelly having his appendix taken out.
In fact, appendix, they might as well take it out from the birth. It's like your tonsils. They're no good, and this is what the medical people are saying.
Then why have we got it then?
Well, it goes from from an ape, from the years and years ago. Same as your tonsils, they're not worth it in your body, nor is your appendix, and other things in your body are not worth it to be there. And they're saying about when you're a baby to take them out, to save the National Health Service money.
That's the best. That's the best thing. Let's cut open babies and take their tonsils and appendix out.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Because they're nothing inside your body.
Dave, thank you. The campaign starts here on BBC Three Counties Radio. I want all newborn babies to have their appendix and tonsils ripped out of them at birth, thereby saving the National Health Service a lot of money. Ken's in Luton. Morning, Ken.
Morning, Ian.
What do you think about breastfeeding?
Well, it's just beyond belief what some people carry on with it. I mean, the old boy that told her off most probably goes and eats his lunch sitting down in the carriage reading The Sun, doesn't he, eh?
Eh?
He thinks that's what they're for.
Ah, yes. Ah, of course, page 3, yes.
See, I mean, the only place where I think it's undignified to breastfeed is sitting on the toilet. Don't you reckon?
Did your mum do that with you?
I don't know.
No.
She might have put me head first down the toilet.
Oh, for goodness sakes, Kenneth. Dearie me. Well, I would hope. Saying that, listen, I know some of our listeners, there probably are some mums. You know, when baby's hungry, baby got to feed.
Oh, blimey. Would you want to be a baby? Eh?
Would I want to be a baby? I'm not...
Mind you, they most probably reckon that Katie Price's babies are going to be obese.
There we go. OK, thank you very much indeed. He made the joke. They'll never go hungry. There we go. Right, thank you very much. The front page of Thursday's Sun featured a picture of Paul Gascoigne with the headline, "Don't give this man a drink." Readers were encouraged to cut the page out and stick it up in boozers and off licences. Well, I thought this front page was a little bit distasteful, so we spoke to the editor of The Sun, David Dinsmore. But before that, have a listen to Pauline, who called in about her daughter and her daughter's battle with alcohol.
First of all, she started on drugs, and then she got off the drugs and went on to the alcohol, which to me is it's worse than drugs.
People will be surprised to hear you say you think alcohol is worse than drugs. Why is that? How does it affect your daughter?
It affects your life far worse. She was constantly drunk. She was walking around. She had 2 small children, and she was walking around with one under her arm and a sick bowl in the other hand. And it was devastating. Her 2 children, who are now teenagers, 16 and 15, have grown up not knowing their mum. They don't see her. They have nothing to do with her. Nobody in the family now has anything to do with her. She's made our lives miserable. I've had to step back from her. I don't see her now. I know where she is. I believe I know where she is.
She's still drinking?
Yes, terribly.
I can understand exactly why you step back. Some people might think that's a little bit harsh. What was the point when you went, do you know what, I just cannot do this anymore, and you made that painful decision?
That's right. I mean, it's heartbreaking. But every time I see her, she wants money, or she's been abused. She's constantly being abused by men who are in the same position as her.
What was the final point, Pauline, where you just said to her, look, I love you, but I can't do this anymore?
I didn't say it to her. I just left her one day, and I thought, I can't do this anymore. And I didn't get in contact with her again, and she's never got in contact with me. I mean, as I said, her boys don't get in contact with her. They don't want to know her, and nobody else in the family does, really.
Where are your grandchildren now, then?
They're with their father.
Right.
Lovely boys. I think if one thing, good things come out of it. They've seen what their mother's like, and they hardly drink. They do have a drink, but they hardly drink. I mean, I offer them a drink here, and it's very often no. I don't really want one, Nan. And one of them has got Crohn's, and I believe that, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, it's not been said, but I believe that when she was carrying him, she was drinking and using drugs, and I believe that this is the cause of it. It's caused the youngest one to have Crohn's.
Did you try and help her? Did you to stop drinking?
Yes, I've done everything I can. We used to have people round at Christmas, and she used to come, and I used to buy in non-alcoholic wine for her, and not let her have a drink. I wouldn't drink in front of her at all. Not that I drink much, but she used to go into rehab. She's been into rehab so many times that I can't remember how many. And she comes out and it starts again. She stopped for about 12 months, and then she started by one glass of wine. And I admire the man you had on earlier. I only just heard the end of what he was saying.
That was Bobby, yes.
That he'll never touch a drink again. He's right. As soon as they touch that one drink, they've lost.
Anna Grandmum, it must be so painful for you to know that she's suffering like that.
Yes. I mean, it's spoilt my life. It's ruined her life. I mean, she's got no life whatsoever. And every time I see her, she's either drunk or asleep, sleeping the drink off. And this is why I had to distance myself. I mean, every time she got just so abusive, she'd never come round unless she wanted something like money or somewhere to sleep. And she wasn't nice about it. She was just so abusive. I mean, I know I can't help her anymore. It's got to be down to her. And she doesn't seem to want the help. I mean, as I say, she's lost her boys over it. And if they can't help her, then who can? She won't do it for them.
Pauline, Callin is in Bedford. Callin has called in. Callin, what's your view on Pauline's story?
Good morning. Well, first and foremost, I would like to say that alcoholism is a disease. This woman is sick, and the only people that could have helped her was her family, which let her down. I would blame the mother and, well, not as much the son, for not being there for her. She was supposed to be taken to rehab. You, as a mother, are responsible for your daughter.
Callan,
Yeah.
hang on a second. You can't blame Pauline. You just said yourself that the daughter is sick. It's a disease. You can't blame Pauline for the daughter's disease.
No, I'm not blaming her for taking action. Help. These people do need help. They need a family support, not being let down, not being walked away from.
But sometimes it sounds like, and Pauline, correct me if I'm wrong, Pauline has offered support and has offered help, and sometimes, for the sake of the sanity and the health of the rest of the family, you have to let the sick person get on with their own lives. You have to step back until they're ready to get well, don't you think?
I have children. Thank God they're too small yet, but I will never give up on my children. You have to take them to a hospital. You have to take them checked in to everything in your powers to make sure to be at peace in your heart.
Well, let's put that.
You have done everything you can to have this.
All right, Callan, it's not a brilliant line. Stay there. Pauline, what do you think to what Callan's saying?
I have done everything. I've had her in hospital. I've had her in rehab. I've had her living with me. And every time we left the house, I come back to a mess. And I had her living with me once, and with her two small children. And we went out, and when we came back, the little boy had locked himself in the cloakroom, and she'd broken the door down because she couldn't get him out, because she was drunk. I come back to the house being wrecked. All her friends and that have been round. I've tried everything. And for the sake of the rest of the family, I've had to let her go, and she has got to decide that she wants to give up the drink.
Callan?
I can't do anything.
She's tried everything she can.
I understand, but it's still, I mean, it's just, you don't give up. You never give up. That's my opinion.
OK, we have to end it there. Callan in Bedford, Pauline in Luton, thank you very much, both of you, for coming on. And Pauline, thank you for sharing our story. Well, we're talking about the front page of The Sun, which is a cut-out and display page that's supposedly going to help Paul Gascoigne save his life. Well, we're joined now by the editor of the Sun newspaper, David Dinsmore. Morning, David.
Good morning.
Why have you done this front page?
For exactly the reasons that I think your reporter said. We are trying to do some good here. You've got
How is it going to help him? How is it going to help him?
Because you've got a guy who seems to be on a course towards self-destruction and is getting drink from somewhere. The only way he's going to get better is by not drinking.
Yeah, but
so we can point out the danger and the problems that it brings by giving him drink. Maybe that will go some way to stopping it.
It's to sell newspapers, isn't it, David? It's to make money. You're exploiting a man with a disease that's slowly committing suicide. It's to make money.
If people want to cut out our front page, cut off the masthead of The Sun and stick it up just to get that message out, I'm perfectly happy. The story I want to be writing in 5 years' time is an interview with Paul Gascoigne saying, I haven't had a drink for 5 years and I've got my life back together. What I don't want to be doing is his obituary.
Listen, that's a story I want to be reading as well. I want this man to get well. But do you really think the exploitative front pages you've had about him recently, and this in particular, it's not good? I don't know if you know anything about alcoholism, but this isn't going to help him at all.
Well, I think, if you've read the story, and I would encourage you and your readers to do so, you will read from Ronnie Irani, the cricketer, one of his friends. You'll read from Alex Best, George Best's wife, that most of the problem with this is fans who want to spend an afternoon with their idol. They're more than happy to buy a drink for him, and that is part of the problem. So this is exactly the issue that we're trying to tackle head on here.
Do you not feel that it is exploitative, though, that he has got a medical condition that, and by putting this on the front page, do you really genuinely believe, David, deep in your heart, that this is going to have any effect on his drinking whatsoever?
Absolutely, I do, and I think that the other option is just to completely ignore it. And
maybe you should do that.
If you ignore problems that people have in society and brush them under the carpet, then we'll be in a terrible position.
People drink because they are ashamed and guilty and have low self-esteem. They drink, then they get sober and they have more shame and more guilt and more low self-esteem. If he sees this is going to make him feel like a piece of something you see on the street. This is going to make him feel worse.
Well, I don't think so.
Do you know anything about alcoholism? Have you worked with people who've got alcoholics?
I have, of course, over the years I have.
Okay, because I suggest you maybe do a little bit more research, because this is going to make him feel awful.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Because you're doing exactly the same. You know, you've had an entire programme based on this subject.
Yeah.
And you're tackling it in a very, your reporter's questioning was, they were very leading questions. I don't think it's a balanced view of things. I mean, what we are saying, we're going out here, we're saying, look, there is a big problem here. You've got the clash of celebrity with a disease, and that mixture is very potent. We've seen many footballers who've come out the other side of it, because I think that actually what they go through, they have huge highs and many people celebrating their success and what they've achieved and so on. Then their careers come to an end and they've got nothing left. They don't have the format of going to training every day. So they replace that with...
I understand that. Listen, I totally understand it. I just think that this is a little bit exploitive and a little bit cruel.
It's not cruel at all. What, you think it's a good idea to give him a drink?
No, I think it's a bad idea to put a front page on exploiting Paul Gascoigne so that you make money, when it's just going to make him feel even worse and make him go and drink even more.
No, the big problem here is that people are giving him drink, right? That is the number one issue. Nothing else.
That is not going to, David, that is not going to stop people giving him a drink. And if you really think it is, that's just ridiculous.
So that he walks into a bar today and people have seen that front page, I think people will think twice about it. And if we...
listen, I hope you're right and I'm wrong. I hope you're right and I'm wrong.
If that is the case, then we have achieved something.
I hope you're right and I'm wrong. And when will you get the figures in and how many extra papers you've shifted?
Well, that is not what this is about.
Okay.
I've already said to you.
Of course it's not. This week, the cricket's been happening. I do not understand that ridiculous game. I especially don't understand the scoring. 169 for 3? What does that even mean? Well, some of you got in touch to try and explain it. It's not necessarily the person with the biggest number that has got the trophy thing.
It is.
But what's the... So if I had 75 for 9...
Right.
And you had 74 for 3... Do I win? You see?
For 9.
You don't know what that means.
I think I still win. I think I win whatever.
Here's April trying to explain it.
Well, the two scores that you suggested, 75 for 9 and 75 for 3.
Yeah.
That means you both scored 75 runs.
Yep.
Except you lost 9 wickets.
Yep.
Whereas Catherine lost 3.
So Catherine would win.
Lost less people. Yes, she won.
OK, but supposing I got 75 for 9 and she got 74 for 3. So she's got less points, but she lost less men.
She still wins.
How can she win if she has got less points than me? I got 75 for 9.
Well, I'm assuming you're talking about a limited over.
Am I?
Well, yeah, because that would be like 10 overs. That wouldn't be very good, would it? You need to play a whole 4 days.
Oh, for goodness sakes, how can a game go on for more than a day? Any game where you stop not only for lunch, but for tea is ridiculous.
The village that I live in has actually the world record for the longest played game.
And they're proud of that, are they?
Yes.
Why would you be proud of being rubbish at a slow game?
No, they were very good, and they played it for a very long time over a bank holiday weekend. Continuously played it, as if through the day and through the night.
That's just ridiculous. And here's John in Dunstable. He thinks he's got all the answers.
The best way I can say this, right? Manchester United score 5 goals.
Yes.
And have 2 players sent off.
We're talking about cricket.
I know that.
Right.
I'm going to give you an example.
Okay.
So this is as simple as you can put it. Man United scored 5 goals and have 2 players.
So they're down to 10 men.
Okay, so they have 2 players sent off.
So they've got 10. Yeah.
Liverpool score 4 goals and have 3 players sent off. Who wins the game?
Give me the stats again.
Man United score 5. 2 players sent off. Yep. Liverpool scores 4 and have 3 players.
Manchester United have won.
Why have they won?
Because they've got more goals.
Okay, England score 100 runs.
Yep.
And have 5 wickets.
So that's 100 for 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
Australia, 99 runs, 7 wickets. Who wins the game?
England.
Why?
Because they've got more runs.
There you go. You've answered the question.
No, but supposing they... Right, so England have 100 for 5.
Yeah.
Australia are 99 for 1.
Yeah. Well, England have still won the game. If it's the end of
But they've lost less men.
Sorry?
They've lost less men.
If it's the end of the game, if the time has run out, England have scored more runs. They win the game.
But okay, all right. So, here's something then. It's 100 for 5, England.
Yeah.
Australia, 99 for 3.
Yeah.
Rain stops play.
Okay.
Who's won that?
Rain stops play. Time has elapsed. There's no more time to play the game. England have won the game. They've scored more runs.
How can they win the game but they've played for like a day and Australia have played for 20 minutes?
Because they've scored more runs.
But the rain has stopped the play! That can't be a valid reason for losing a game!
Rain stops play, snow stops play. If the time has elapsed, if the 5 days are up, if the 3 days are up, rain has stopped play, end of time, England have scored more runs.
It's a stupid game, isn't it?
It is. It's a ridiculous game. You talk about that. Hurling in Ireland, that's even more ridiculous.
Oh, go away!
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Don't even introduce hurling into the conversation. We're only here until 9 o'clock, for goodness sakes. Well, that's it. That's your lot. Don't forget you can get this podcast either at the BBC website or from iTunes. If you do get it from iTunes, if you leave, like, I don't know, a nice comment or 5 stars, that would be really, really helpful. And spread the word. If you want to listen to the full episodes, they are up on BBC iPlayer for a week. Or you can listen live. Weekdays, BBC Three Counties between 6 and 9.
That was your host, Iain Lee. Continue as you were. Thanks. Bye. Bye again.
Just stop it.
Okay.
Thanks for listening to this free download from BBC Three Counties Radio, your local radio station for beds, hearts and bucks, on FM, AM, digital radio, and online at bbc.co.uk/3counties.